Reverend Birgit Gaudreau, and welcome to Know Your Bible. And today we're going to study Genesis chapter 29. So Jacob went on his journey to the east to find his mother's family, and he came upon a field with a well, and he seen a flock of sheep there. He also saw some men gathered by the well.
Verse 4 to 12. And Jacob said to them, My brethren, where are you from? And they said, Oh, we're from Haran. Then he said to them, Do you know Laban the son of Nahor? And they said, Oh, we know him. So he said to them, Is he well? And they said, Oh, he is well. And look, his daughter Rachel is coming with the sheep. Then he said, Oh, look, it's still high day. It is not time for the cattle to be gathered together. Water the sheep and go and feed them. But they said, We cannot until all the flocks are gathered together. And they've rolled the stone from the well's mouth. Then we water the sheep. Now while he was still speaking, with them Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she was a shepherdess. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban his mother's brother, that Jacob went near, and rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the flock of Laban's mother's brother.
So here, Jacob fell in love with Rachel at the first sight. He could not resist giving her a kiss, and she was a beautiful woman.
Then Jacob kissed Rachel, and lifted up his voice and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's relative and that he was Rebekah's son. So she ran and told her father. Verse 13 and 14. Then it came to pass, when Laban heard the report about Jacob his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house. So he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, Surely you are my bone and my flesh. And he stayed with him for a month.
So while Jacob was staying there with Laban and the family, he was working. And so Laban said, You shouldn't be working for nothing. Tell me what you would like to have for your good work. And so Jacob, he was so in love with Rachel, so he said, I would like to marry your daughter Rachel. So Laban agreed if he would work 7 years for him, then he would give him Rachel his daughter.
Verse 20 to 23. So Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed only a few days to him because of the love he had for her. Then Jacob said to Laban, Give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go into her. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. Now it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to Jacob, and he went into her. Verse 25 to 27. So it came to pass in the morning that, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, What is this you have done to me? Was it not for Rachel that I served you? Why then have you deceived me? Then Laban said, It must not be done so in our country, to give the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we will give you this one also for the service which you will serve with me, still another 7 years.
So you see here that Laban did not have the best character, and he tricked Jacob into marrying Leah. So here again, Laban said to Jacob, You need to work another 7 years before you can take Rachel as your wife.
So after 14 years of labor, Jacob was finally given the permission to marry Rachel, his one and true love.
So Jacob is happy. He has Rachel as his wife, and he stayed another 7 years and worked for Laban. As history does sadly repeat itself over and over again, now Rachel was barren. As you can remember, Sarah and Rebekah was barren also. So Leah was not happy that Jacob loved Rachel more than her, and she then bore children, 3 sons. And the first one was Reuben, and the second one Simeon, and the third son Levi. So she figured that now Jacob must be so attached to me and would love me just as much as Rachel. So again, Leah bore another son, a fourth son, and his name was Judah. And then she stopped bearing. So the Bible study continues next week in Genesis chapter 30. So please join me again so you know how the story continues. And I want to say a blessing to you all. Thank you for watching and see you then again next week.